Well, hello there. How is everyone? My name's Harsh, and Karina loves my facial expressions. Creepy much? Of course not. Let's get into the meat and potatoes. And what are we talking about? We're talking about skin in the game. And people are going to be like, what on earth does that even mean? Skin in the game. Some people will know. Some people won't. You're going to learn. And you're going to learn how that impacts some of the idiocy that we see in the comments, both as creators and subscribers and just casual watchers and readers of comments alike. So skin in the game basically means when you have an investment in it, like just say in the Idaho 4 case, for instance, people with skin in the game are the people who have kids at the university, for instance, not necessarily involved in the crime, but they have children around this area. The universities itself and the staff, perhaps, most definitely the people on the board of directors for such places. People out on the peripheral who could be affected by the outcome of such a situation. And of course, the families and friends of the victims themselves, and indeed Brian and his family too. Because ultimately, these are all people who have something to do with this situation. And that can be applied to many different things. You know, if you are commenting on a video about parenting and you have children, then you have skin in the game. If you are commenting on a video about children and you do not have children and you don't really have any interaction with children, then you're just a dickhead who thinks you know better with nothing to base that upon. Okay? Now, Southern Logic, his video link is in the description of this video, and it was in my one I did earlier today as well. He was talking about a comment that he made specifically, and it was about sending an innocent person to jail. He wouldn't want that. He would rather a guilty man go free than an innocent man be put away. And people went crazy. They lost their minds. And I wonder whether these people are just stupid or they lack a proper critical mind. Because ultimately, what we're saying in the event of an innocent person being put in jail is that the guilty person is still out in the public. Okay? So what you're saying, if you disagree with that statement, is that you are happy for the innocent person to be put away and the guilty person to still be out. Anyway, I digress. I literally just went on a little mini rant there. But what I'm trying to get at is, look, commenters, people who comment, and people who have thoughts and feelings about crimes. You know, we saw a lot of this happen in the Michael Vaughan case, where if anything negative was said about the situation regarding Michael being out of the house and wandering the streets, people latched onto that and they were attacking creators who brought things up. And I think to myself, but you do not have skin in the game there. You are just looking at it from a perspective of trying to protect the family from being upset when you're not really considering who the real victim was and how that situation came to be. And like in the Idaho 4 case, we're seeing so many comments, so many attacks on people who say specific things, but they just don't have skin in the game. They've just got an opinion on something. And I think it's important, if you're someone who feels passionate about something, or before you say something to someone, that you consider how you would feel about something if you were to have skin in the game, because that can change things massively. And I just implore you to think about that before a comment is made or a statement is made, before you try and attack someone or vilify them or write off what they're saying about something. Consider how you would feel about it if your situation was different. Like in Idaho, if you had a child at the university, if it was your child who was in this property, if it was your child who lived next door, if it was your child who was in fact Brian. Just think about the varying nuances and how different people can feel about situations based on their situation. Because whenever someone thinks or feels something about something, there is a reason for that. It could be that someone has been through a trauma. It may be that someone has been through the death of a loved one or the murder of a loved one, and they see things different than someone who hasn't been through that same experience. And I guess the purpose of this video is just to try and say, just try to be kinder to one another. There is no need to attack people. We're all different. We have all walked our own path throughout our lives. And who is anybody to say to anyone that they should see the world through their eyes when they haven't walked the same life? Yeah, I'm done. I'll catch you in the next one.